Howdy heck and hello H2 homies, roller bronies, and tanukis alike. I'm your guide Q, and today we're looking at this Ask Reddit question that's very interesting. People who have ordered a bar's safe word drink to get out of a bad situation. What was your date like and how did the staff help? Now what I found from this is that it's actually not that common for bars to have a safe word drink. There are a few situations where something like that exists, but still these are very creepy encounters and have some good stuff to know if you're ever going to a bar for like the first time or the millionth time. I've experienced the bartender hero before. Out with a friend in DC, guy comes up, stands way too close, introduces himself, and shakes my hand way too hard and way too long. I had to actually pull my hand away, but he kept the grip. I politely told him I was visiting a friend I hadn't seen in a while and wanted to spend my time with her and turned my back. He kept standing there trying to talk to me. I again, but more firmly, told him that I wasn't interested. He stayed. He orders another drink and the bartender serves him all the way at the other end of the bar. Actually showed him his drink and said it'll be over here and walked it as far away from us as he could. I thought that was brilliant. He got a very good tip from us. So from the posts that I've looked at so far, it seems like there are a decent amount of strategies. This strategy seems like a straightforward, like, letting the creep know that the bar knows that he's being a creep so that he can be like, hey, maybe I'm making a scene here. Not only am I creeping this girl out, but people know about it, because some people won't be deterred just by the fact that they creep a girl out because they're a predator or something like that. So I feel like this is a very good straightforward strategy. Take notes, bartenders. I don't know about safe word drinks, but once in my early 20s I went on a date with a guy who I didn't know well but seemed fairly normal. About 2 drinks in, he starts dropping some real creep vibes. Says that he loves how young I look. At one point he literally said, "You look barely old enough to have your period." Yikes. I make eye contact with the bartender behind me and mouth help. She came right over and asked if I had been here recently because there's a scarf in Lost and Found that might belong to me. I walked with her to an employee room and explained the situation. She waited with me while the bouncer bounced him. Later, that same bouncer walked me to my car. Okay, I used to make a lot of creepy PM videos, and I've read so many creepy lines in my day, and this might be one of the creepiest. One, most people in their early 20s are not going to be excited about looking younger than they are. I'm pretty sure most 22-year-olds don't want to look 18. And to take it to this extreme extent and think that this girl is going to be complimented by it is insane. And I'm really glad the bouncer got involved. It seems like in a lot of these stories, they don't involve a bouncer, maybe because they don't have one, like some bartenders don't have the budget or don't have enough customers to have a bouncer at the bar, but it seems like a really effective tool in a situation like this. I had a creep corner me in a bar once and tried to stroke my thigh. A dude I've never met before came up and said, "Hey sis, I've been looking all over for you." And he put his arm around me and walked me out. Thank you so much, stranger. Edit, since I'm seeing a lot of comments about this, it was pretty obvious they were not working together. The nice guy walked over from a group of friends, all college-aged, and the creep was in his 50s. And when I said he walked me out, he just walked me to the door of the bar. I feel like this is a really good example that you too, as a bar patron, can help out. I wouldn't be, like, too much of a loose cannon out there just, like, white knighting in situations that don't deserve it, but, I mean, if you're a person that's good at reading body language or facial expressions when maybe one person's making physical contact with another person, and you see that somebody's clearly uncomfortable, maybe just check in, see what's happening, say hi, what's going on. Sure, it could be awkward if nothing's happening, but the worst that can happen is them just being like, "Hey, I don't know you, can you go away?" And they probably wouldn't do that if they were in an uncomfortable situation, so I feel like it's kind of a win-win. I once got hugged by a random girl sitting at a bar who whispered in my ear, or actually talked normally, the music was loud, "Pretend to be my boyfriend." I grabbed her on the thigh and yelled, "Honey, I've been looking all over for you." The guy who hit on her gave me this, "Sorry, I had no idea it was your girl" look, and then she asked me to dance. She pulled me into the crowd and we danced for like 30 seconds, and she gave me a smile and she left. Never saw her again, but I felt like a hero. Small thing I did, but I felt great. First off, I just want to establish that everybody does have different levels of discomfort, but I kind of find it weird that this dude had previously made this girl uncomfortable, but then when he found out that she had a boyfriend in this situation, he was like, oh, let me back off immediately. Like, it's just so weird. Like, he previously had no problem pushing the envelope in a situation where somebody seemed like they weren't interested, which really leads me to wonder, like, are these people just completely missing the signals, or are they actively ignoring them? Working as a bartender and bouncer for the past couple years, I usually just try to watch for body language of people that are in the bar. If it looks like someone needs a quick escape, I'll approach and pretend I'm an old friend that hasn't seen them in a while. If they don't actually need help, I can excuse myself by saying they look like a friend. Either that or I'll try to position myself behind the questionable party and give a thumbs up and cocked eyebrow as sort of a you good. I feel like this kind of further demonstrates the low risk, high reward nature of this situation. Yeah, it might be awkward if there's nothing going on, but you could really help someone out. I had to use it when I went on a date off of Tinder. We met up and he had already gotten me a drink, just sat there, a shot of something clear, and then said to me that I should do it, and then he would take me to somewhere better for more fun. I wasn't comfortable, so I excused myself to the bathroom and saw a poster that said, just ask about Angela if you're uncomfortable. I went to the bar and asked for Angela, and immediately this guy was playing along saying, oh yeah, she's working in the kitchen tonight, and he got me a taxi and walked me out the back door and into the taxi to make sure I got there without any hassle. Never saw the guy again. This is actually the most common system I saw in place, more than any safe drink or anything like that. And here's a sign in some bathroom of a bar. Hi, I'm Angela. Are you on a date that isn't working out? Do you feel like you are not in a safe situation? Is your Tinder date not who they said they were in their profile? If you go to the bar and ask for Angela, the bar staff will discreetly help you get out of your situation. So I personally think this is a great system, but if you're like somebody that's been creeped on at bars a lot, or if you're a bartender that's seen this sort of thing happen over and over again, what do you think is the best system? Like this generic Angela thing at any bar? I feel like if a lot of bars could implement it, it would be good, or like specific safe drinks for each bar, or just like bartenders being more vigilant, which could be tough because bartenders are extremely busy and can't always be paying attention to everybody, so it might be good for a person to come up to them to look for help. I personally think that a generic Angela thing or a generic safe drink at every bar would be better, because it might be hard for somebody in a high pressure situation where they're uncomfortable from getting creeped on to remember specific safe drinks for each bar they might go to. This, referring to safe drinks, is a relatively new thing, but us girls have been doing some form of it for a long time. Back when I was a bartender, I noticed a girl stumble into the pool table. She was crying and clearly very intoxicated. I went over to ask if she was okay, and some guy I hadn't seen her with all night jumps up and says, "I'm her boyfriend, I got her." Yeah, no you do not. We got her to calm down and give us her phone number to call her roommate so someone safe could take her home. It sucks that it's necessary, but I'll always love my boss from that bar because he threw that creep out physically. We did see her again. She didn't have a boyfriend or remember that night. This one specifically really creeps me out because there's nothing that could have saved this situation other than a vigilant bartender or a vigilant patron. So it's really good that this bartender was paying attention to the situation, because everybody else could have just assumed that actually was her boyfriend, and that guy obviously has terrible intentions if he's trying to take control of somebody who is this intoxicated and upset. This is a close but not quite situation, but it may get attention due to the lack of legit responses. A guy I was with was super adamant about me keeping up with him slamming drinks. He would drag me to the bar and order for me, then egg me on to drink faster, etc. I did not want to be drunk with him. Yeah, that is a major red flag right off the bat. He ordered me a vodka soda, and I maintained that slightly pained look on my face, hoping to catch the bartender's attention. When he looked my way, I widened my eyes just a little and subtly shook my head no. I watched him as he poured my drink by faking the vodka pour and just filling it with what I presume was soda water. Not normally my drink of choice, so I wasn't sure what it was. Kinda looked like stale Sprite. Then he garnished it with a lime and everything. Said cheers when he handed us our drinks. This continued for a while until Drunky McSmashy Pants wanted to leave. Bartender said to me, "Oh, you had asked about seeing Megan, right? Yeah, she's in the back. Go ahead while he closes out." I sort of hovered by the restrooms, which were tucked away, watched the bartender BS with the dude for a while, and he eventually left looking all annoyed. When the coast was clear, I came out, said my thank yous, and he said anytime, happens more than we care to admit. So I thought it was pretty cool that the bartenders were aware enough to pick up on the little signs and help a sister out. I guess during their conversation, he basically convinced the dude that I didn't seem into it, and he thought he saw me leave already. Drunk dude was drunk, so I guess he bought it without further intervention necessary. So yeah, like I said before, I think somebody trying to pump drinks into another person like this is one of the greatest dead giveaways that that person has bad intentions and is a huge creep. And I think this is something that bartenders should be super vigilant about, and even though they are super busy and stuff like that, but I think this bartender did the perfect job of dealing with the scenario. So let me know what you think the best strategy that bars can do to help out with this sort of thing is, because obviously it'd be awesome if everybody was hyper vigilant, but when you're drunk and you're out with your friends, it's hard to pay attention to a lot of stuff going on outside of your friend group, and when you're super busy behind the bar, it's also very difficult to pay attention to all of the patrons. But I feel like if more systems were put in place, it could make a bar more of a fun place to hang out and maybe meet some people than a place where you're in constant fear of getting creeped on. So skate on to the best of your abilities, make sure you're drinking more water, please be safe out there, and I will see you super soon.